Hello, and welcome to the channel. My name is Tyrabell, and thank you for being here, especially if this is your first time. It has been a really long time. Sorry, my cat is attacking my foot. Titi, stop it. It's been a really long time since I've gone here and channeled any messages for you guys. I apologize that my cat was literally attacking my foot just now. And welcome to our channel. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, especially if you're new here. If you're returning, thank you for being here. Make sure you like the video. It just helps it circulate more. And I will be doing these a lot less frequently, just because it's not one of the forms of content that gets the most views at this moment. So if you like this content, make sure you're engaging with it. It lets us know that you enjoy it and that you want to see more of it. So if this is your first time listening to doing engaging with a pick a card reading, just know that readings are for confirmation of what your intuition is already telling you. So if you hear something that you're not really resonating with, just discard it. It's probably not a message for you. You should pick your piles intuitively, so close your eyes. Whatever number comes first, that's the pile for you. If you see multiple, then maybe there's different messages throughout multiple piles. So do as you wish. And again, if there's something that does not resonate with you, do not apply it, to your life if it doesn't apply. So today we will have 3 piles. Pile number 1 is the Modern Witch Tarot. Pile number 2 is the Ethereal Visions Tarot. And pile number 3 is the Vision Quest deck. So take your time selecting a pile. And when you're ready, you can either click down to the description to select your pile. If you're live with me, then I also offer live readings. So if you catch me when I'm live, you can jump in the little chat on the sidebar and let me know what you want to know. There's different forms of payment, so check it out if that interests you. Other than that, we're going to get started with the Modern Witch Tarot, which is the first deck that is pile number 1. And I do shuffle live, so if that bores you, you can always skip ahead if you're no longer live with me. Okay, let's get into it. Pile number 1. Hello there, pile number 1, and welcome to your pick a card reading. You chose the let's see if I can get it to focus. This is the Modern Witch Tarot deck. It looks like this. It's very cute on the back, turquoise. This might be a color that you are drawn to. I'm hearing seal the deal. So someone is sealing the deal on some sort of arrangement. It could be a relationship, but I'm specifically hearing contract. They're also saying vision quest. So when I'm referring to they, I'm saying your spirit guides, God, whatever you refer to, whatever you feel most led by, your angels. I'm hearing someone say strictly business. So getting down to business, something is strictly business, business arrangements, something like this. Someone may have like stripes, like stretch marks or scars on their body. Only take what resonates right now. I'm just channeling, so remember, I'm channeling for a collective on here. So that is really it. I think everything else that I'm hearing is kind of let's just get to the message. Let's get to the message. I don't want to channel anything that's too far off. Okay, here we go. So we have this Queen of Pentacles. I wish I could hold this up closer and you guys could still see it. So she's holding this pentacle, and as you can see, she's wearing this crisscross top. So someone may own a gown like this. And I'm hearing frivolous action. So you, pile number 1, are a very secure, self-secure person, and you may have a lot of physical or material security, stability. And if you don't feel this way, this is definitely how you're viewed, especially with the Queen of Pentacles. She's wearing like this crown. Maybe you have a very regal or royal type of presence about you. And if you can tell that there's this bunny by her foot, and I don't know if you guys have seen the Alice in Wonderland movies, but the bunny kind of represented this mischief and this journey into the unknown. Sometimes confusion, sometimes chaos, but ultimately luck, because it brought Alice closer to her identity and to herself. So I want to say you're a very secure person. Maybe you've had to go through a lot of uncertainty to become this stable in life or grounded. And if you're not feeling this way in this moment, maybe this is the journey that you're on. I'm also hearing trauma. So maybe you've experienced something where you've had to learn to accept your circumstances for what they were, and you've had to make something out of nothing. Also, with the trauma, it's like learning to not dissociate, learning to ground instead of try to escape reality. You're learning to, or you have learned to maybe face your fears in some way. So this Queen of Pentacles is paired by this Devil card. And the Devil represents restriction, trauma, sometimes fears or addictions. So paired with this Queen of Pentacles, I'm hearing karmic contracts. So there might have been something you were born into that ultimately led you to doing some sort of self-discovery work that brought you a lot of grounding. And if you're not feeling grounded in this moment, or maybe even aware of, who you are in this moment, if you're feeling a little lost in your identity, it's Spirit is saying it's not a loss, it's a gain. So if there's something that's falling away at this time, if it was restricting, if it made you feel belittled in any way or traumatized in any way, it's not a loss, it's a gain. And there is some sort of really good abundance or good fortune coming your way. So there is something that is going to, I'm hearing, leveling the playing field. So there's going to something that's going to ground you and bring you some sort of security. So make sure you're open to receiving this support. But there is some sort of trauma or traumatizing circumstance that is happening, and it's a part of a karmic contract. I almost said comic. So maybe there are people involved that find it to be interesting or entertaining, which is really unfortunate. So Spirit is just advising that you really reflect on anything in your life that is making you feel trapped or stuck or small. It is a reflection of some sort of trauma that you experienced maybe early on in life or in childhood. And you're not weak for needing time to really reflect on this karmic cycle or contract, or also it could be like a real contract that you're in or tied to. And what this is offering you is a chance to increase your bravery. So if you're wondering if your security and your stability is safe, it is. But there is some mischief surrounding it. Continue to show up fully as your full self, especially in that very regal and royal energy. So we have this Two of Cups. There may be relationships or contracts around you that are enticing. If it's not a situation that's bringing you more balance, it is a test of your willpower and your free will. So we all have the free will to make our own choices in life, and it's important that you make ones that serve you and serve a greater purpose in your life. So thinking about the big picture when entering into relationships or connections or partnerships with people. Again, sorry that I have to hold the cards so far back. When I bring them up close, they kind of get blown out. So maybe here is not so bad. So yeah, there's one person standing on land, and then there's one person standing in water. So remember that coming together with someone who might seem like an opposite or have a different strength can be very alchemical and bring together some sort of healing in your life, but healing in other people's lives, including the person that you're coming together with. So this is paired with the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is determination, using your willpower, using your mental focus, but also your physical strength to remain on a new and maybe uncertain path. And even though you might not know what the outcome will be, Spirit is saying make sure you say no to any, again, like vicious cycles. So it could be like if you have any addictions, if you have any like obsessions, things that don't really serve a higher, greater purpose, those devil energies, anything that feels toxic. Make sure you're saying no to things that are toxic in your life at this time, because there is something you're meant to be focused on, maybe joint projects, again, speaking and moving in a way where you are following this new and uncertain path rather than doing anything that is too predictable, I want to say. Again, stepping into, if it's a contract or a relationship, with courage rather than doubt or fear. So we have this Ace of Swords, and I just heard drama. I just heard drama. It was somebody said it like drama. Like maybe you have a friend that's like helping you and you're like talking about it and they're like, it's just drama. Like, I don't know. Whoever you're conversing with about this is maybe really relaxed and really chill. But anyway, so this Ace of Swords for me represents, sorry, my titi, my tio tio. Um, it represents cutting things out. And it's easy to set boundaries or communicate clearly or be discernful when you have clarity, when you've found some new clarity. So you might be getting some insights about the circumstance or realizing things that are essential. And that's going to bring in some sort of new awareness. And along with that new awareness, it's clarified by this Page of Cups. So a message, there might be a message on its way to you, someone reaching out. It might be tied to, someone you've been waiting to hear from, and they're going to help you maybe flow through some even emotions that you have yet to unpack, or maybe this is going to help to carry a certain message along, something like this. Either way, I feel like the biggest takeaway, pile number one, is, are you grounded in this moment? How can you feel more self-secure and grounded? Are you open to new forms of clarity, new ways of communicating, and also accepting new clarity? And then with that, make sure you're operating from a space of detachment. If you're grounded, then you're going to be detached. You're not going to give in to fear. You're not going to give in to drama. You're not going to do anything like that. You're going to move at your own pace, and you're going to be reflective instead of reactive, right? So, again, be open to some sort of new communication or awareness. Make sure you're moving with your own free will and saying no to things that don't serve you, and really be open to receiving some sort of communication or support at this time. Let's get some final cards, some clarifiers. Pile number one, make sure you smash that like button if this is resonating for you. And Spirit is like, don't put that out there. Make sure you're being discreet. So the Queen of Pentacles is also very discreet. If we could describe the Queen of Pentacles, she's not someone who's like loud luxury. She's quiet luxury. So because she has her ducks in a row and she is self-secure. She's not trying to overtly draw attention to herself. She is trying to flourish, It's not about proving that she's flourished or vanity in any way. So make sure you're being discreet. Make sure you're keeping certain things to yourself and not giving things, away too soon. Someone might be buying a new carpet or replacing a carpet. I'm also hearing jargon. So make sure you're paying attention to the way that other people communicate. I'm also hearing greater good. So another thing about being grounded is, we live in a very interesting time, and a lot of people operate with, salaciousness, and it tends to come off as scarcity. So again, make sure you are moving with the right motives and intentions, and peep game, be discernful. One second. Sorry. I had to get my son. Alright, let's keep going. Pile number 1. So especially pile number 1 if you've dealt with like karmic contracts within relationships, right? There's somebody that maybe you've dealt with recently, and like they're thinking to themselves, like I'm hearing their telepathic, like their mental conversation about you, and something they're saying to themselves is like, you're scared to see me, you're afraid to see me. And then as I'm saying that, I heard drama, you know? So someone may be thinking about you, someone you dealt with in the past or recent past that maybe you might be reflecting on. It could be a karmic partner or an ex. And again, I just keep hearing drama. Is there any other cards? I think I will actually take from this deck. I don't normally do, but I will today. I'm also hearing shame tactics. So there's maybe people wanting you to doubt yourself. Honestly, good luck trying to get a Queen of Pentacles to doubt themselves. They're pretty secure in themselves, so I think their efforts would be a bit meaningless, but maybe you're supposed to be paying attention to that type of energy around you. So we have the Joy card. As I do will, so mote it be. Let joy and light radiate from me. Something I've noticed in my own personal life is that people very much despise joy, especially because of the state of the world and the things that could be happening, you know, at whatever time that you find this video. So people despise joy. And, you know, though we have a lot of simple things that we can find joy in, there are people who displace a lot of resentment towards joy. So make sure you're not one of those people. Allow yourself to feel joy about the small and simple things. But as you see in this girl, as you can see in this card, this girl is like, it almost looks like she's happy to see this waterfall. So there's some sort of happiness or good news, surprises entering at this time for you, pile number 1. And Spirit is asking that you take this period of reflection to release anything that is not really supporting your journey at this time. And they're saying to go hiking. And, you know, obviously this is like a snowy path here on this card. But maybe looking out over the landscape as you're thinking. So despite whatever weather it is, you could sit near a window, but maybe you need to sit out in nature and really reflect on something. And what is it that wants to be let go of? Maybe not even externally. Focus on the internal first. It will help to ground you even more into this present moment and what it's trying to show you. Something needs to be exposed so it can be released. We have this balance card, so that will help you with feeling a better sense of internal external balance. This woman looks like she has the Aries horns, like a ram. So the beauty in gaining more balance is that you can charge forward with more integrity, with more self awareness, discernment, clarity. So just know too that with balance comes adjustments, and be open to making adjustments, but beware of people that want to chalk things up to like just chalking it up to like downplaying something. They're chalking it up to spirits leaving it blank, but they're saying like they're trying to downplay something, and they're saying don't let them do that. Don't let them downplay you. So if you have to speak up, if you have to face ridicule in some sort of capacity, make sure you're doing that, and make sure you are self-secure, self-aware. Have your internal, external boundaries intact. So we have the crone, and the crone symbolizes high intuition, doing internal healing work. Sometimes the crone is a healer. They can be death doulas. They can see into the people's shadows, the shadow nature of life. Sometimes they're deemed as witches, things like this. So you may have this crone-like quality in you. You might be in a crone phase in life where you're facing the things that are leaving, exiting, or dying in life. So embrace the darker shadows of life as you also embrace the light, the joy. Don't be afraid of your inner crone. She's there to help guide you and help you accept the things in life that are uncomfortable and maybe aren't always addressed so openly. So we have this sea turtle as the last card, and sea turtles are lovely, beautiful, wise creatures that live in the ocean, as you know. And for me, turtles in general represent moving through life at a very slow, methodical, thoughtful pace, and taking your time. And they live very, very long lives as well. So longevity is important for you, pile number one. And they are very like psychic creatures. It's similar to like dolphins or whales. Like they have this really strong innate ability to communicate in this very this very fifth dimensional way, I want to say. I do want to read a little bit more about this turtle card from the book. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. This is the last one. So, the sea turtle is a gentle creature with a long lifespan and can swim over vast distances. It can take decades to reach full maturity, granting them insight and wisdom only accumulated through time and experience. Sea turtles represent the journey and share their infinite patience as you walk through the path and learn from the lessons given along the way. When the sea turtle comes into your life, it may be a time to look at the big picture. I said that in the beginning, to look at the big picture and to look at the big picture. Sorry, I lost my spot. And determine your needs for the long haul. Are you ready for the future? Now is the time to start planning. So when you get this card, it means to enjoy the journey of your life and start planning for the future. So also with this crone card as well, and the sea turtle, there is something that you're aware of that you're creating in life that you are preparing for. And there may be things that you need to see that are uncomfortable in order to get there. It has to do with some sort of trauma or some sort of toxic thing in life that is playing out. But I want to say that your guides are reminding you that you're grounded enough to protect yourself. Just do not procrastinate, and make sure you're, I want to say, taking action when the time is right and detaching from the outcome. think of any question that still lingers in your mind as you've listened to this reading. And if you need more time, you can pause the video until you're ready. I'm going to get you an additional yes or no answer. The answer is soon. So I think that you may be in the process of planning for the future, as the sea turtle card described, and maybe you're waiting for some sort of insight on how to move forward, and Spirit is saying soon. So your answer was soon, pile number 1. If this resonated, make sure you comment a turtle in the chat or in the comments down below. Let me know what resonated most with you, what stood out most, and how you interpreted it, how did it fit into your world. That part is always interesting for me when I give readings, because how it's given to me is sometimes a lot different than how you are experiencing it. Because Spirit uses my language, my experiences, and I am the channel, so me to get the message across, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the way that I'm seeing it is how you're experiencing it. So if you could provide to me some insight in the comments, that would be amazing. And thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting our channel. I am going to move on to pile number 2. Thank you, pile number 1, for being here. Okay, pile number 2. Let's do it. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose 2, then you chose the Ethereal Visions Tarot. I apologize, I'm not able to hold the cards too close because it gets a little blown out, so I'll be keeping them back here for today. I like to channel just a bit before I get into the cards, so bear with me. If you hear anything that does not resonate, please discard. So let's hear it, pile number 2. What's going on? There might be something that you know, and someone, you might have a community around you. There's someone around you that's saying share your knowledge of wealth, share the information. So make sure you're passing along some sort of knowledge. It's how you're showing that you care about the circumstance. It's how you're showing that you care about what's going on around you. So you're, pile number 2, you are separating from the idea that you have to be providing for someone else. Like you're separating from the idea that you have to give. Like financially. Maybe there was something that kind of took from your confidence that taught you that lesson. And that's why Spirit's like, make sure you're sharing the wealth, sharing the knowledge in a different way. That's how you secure the lesson. And I'm hearing sparing yourself. It's how you're sparing yourself. Make sure you're only taking of this what's resonating. I'm just channeling. Maybe you have plans formulated for some sort of travel. Someone might be getting asked out on a dinner date soon. Also, maybe there's somebody that you've been dealing with and you're like, this person should not be working this job. And Spirit is going to confirm to you that they're going to get fired. They're losing their job. And they're saying they won't be working there anymore. That's what Spirit's saying. So take care of yourself. Okay, so we have the 7 of Pentacles. And this card is about, expecting some sort of outcome after you've invested, you've planned, you've curated, and it just came out real mid, It came out kind of half-baked or just not the way that you felt it should have fully developed. And sometimes it can mean that it's still in process. It has not fully developed. So sometimes Spirit brings this card out to remind you not to judge. I'm hearing judge a book by its cover or judge something too quickly. Make sure you're reading through the chapters and you take your time, letting it come to fruition. And again, maybe you're coming from another pile, but it is about being grounded. So have realistic expectations. This card is clarified by the Page of Wands. So you could be a fire sign. You don't have to be. Sorry, these are my mini cards. Maybe you don't realize that this journey that you're on at this moment, this chapter, is about your soul expansion more than it is the material outcome. So Spirit is saying, make sure you're practicing gratitude even when you feel like you're in a desert or something isn't really panning out the way you think it should. And this is how you're building more esteem. It could be also helping your inner child. If it's not your inner child, it could be a person around you who's younger than you. But if it's you, it could be your inner child, improving that sense of esteem along a journey, because it is a journey, whatever this is. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. I heard improved standards. There's something that you're learning from, and maybe it is teaching you to be a little bit more determined. Also, maybe balancing your masculine energy, even if you're a feminine. In this card, it's a feminine person, but the Knight of Pentacles is usually a masculine person in the traditional tarot. So stepping into a little bit more of your masculine energy. I would say also protecting your security, your finances, your endeavors with your own determination, by simply maybe not giving up so soon, learning to be in it for the long haul. And clarifying, the Knight of Pentacles is the Justice card. So in the face of, anything that has to do with the justice system or the karmic justice that you're looking for or desiring, you will have a positive outcome, but it will require your bravery. So make sure you're anticipating, I want to say, some sort of adjustments, again, to stepping into some sort of more masculine or dominant side of yourself, to move forward with courage, with bravery, and into a more balanced outcome or a positive outcome in your favor. Again, if you're not there yet in this moment, if you're not seeing it on the horizon, it is because there is some sort of lack of gratitude or lack of bravery. So we have this 5 of Wands card, and this is the conflict stress card. So dealing with opposing parties or stressful components or tensions, right? And there might be multiple different sides to the circumstance. Maybe you feel like you are in the middle. Maybe you feel like you're stuck in between something that, you think is unnecessary. There is some stressful circumstance that's making you maybe question your own, again, self-security, or it's making you cling on to your reality from a place of lack rather than gratitude. So make sure you're choosing gratitude even in stressful circumstances. It is a test, and it's a test to your faith. Will things show up when I'm ready? Will love show up when I'm ready? Will, good karma or justice show up in divine timing? And I think the answer is that it will. And it might already be. And maybe you're afraid of future conflicts, but that fear or stress is creating more clinging than it's worth. And then we start to lose lose focus on the fact that this is about our soul expanding and learning and growing from conflict and things like this. So don't lose focus of that. Don't close off your heart. Don't close off, yourself or feel defeated just yet. Okay, let's get some more clarifiers. And the Knight of Pentacles, on any of the Knight cards, are like warriors or soldiers, right? They're knights. So again, even if you're a female, tapping into that like warrior, determined energy would be really helpful. And there's a lot of passion that comes along with that as well, that energy. So channeling that passion into the circumstance instead of giving into the stress of it all. Also, point out if you think something is off. Make sure you're voicing that. Like, if something feels inauthentic, make sure you're clearing the room. Like, if something is, if someone's faking the funk, even if you have to make that small, comment to yourself in your mind, but even if you need to speak it out loud, if there is a conflict, calmly but assertively let people know that you see them. Pile number 2. And another thing is, like, if people are questioning you about things that do not concern them, you do not have to reason with anyone who does not need any additional information about what's going on. So I'm hearing someone say, mind your business. Like, you might need to say that to someone, pile number 2. Like, that doesn't concern you, please mind your business. Like, there is some sort of assertiveness, boundaries. But don't close yourself off to, love or connection. Pile number 2. I know it's hard, but it's easier than you think. Okay, so pile number 2, you might be seeing a lot of ravens. Again, you might have chosen another pile from this video. If so, comment down below a raven in the comments and tell me what you think it is, what it means when you see them. Like, tell me what you think it symbolizes if you're into that. So we have this memory card, and I think I am gonna read from the book. You may look like this girl. She's very beautiful. Again, I wish I could bring them closer, but they get really blown out, so hopefully you can see it. I'm going to read the memory card from the book so you guys can get the message, the full message. Okay, so memory is a delicate thing. It weighs as much as a feather and is just as fragile. Wave the feather one way, and the glimmer of the moment it captures, the glimmer of the moment it captures as accurately as if it just happened. Dance the feather in different directions, and the memory fades or changes, the details growing dim and dull. Flames rise from a golden bowl. They burn, distorting anything they touch. The heat warping the surface. Moments affected by the flame bend and buckle, turning into something less than they were. Details fade. The mind fearful of holding on to what was once true. Hold on to the truth by placing it in service to the future. So when you get this card, it means to be mindful of the memories you desire to keep, and let the memories drive your imagination to new heights. So it also reminds me of a different card from another deck. Using your mind and your memory for good rather than bad. Rather than playing out the worst case scenario, or focusing too much on, what you would rather move beyond, and using the positive memories to motivate you to move forward. I think that that's a great, addition to this message. So this says, new beginnings. Let this magic in my spell clear the space in which I dwell. So you might be seeing the number 44 a lot of different places. You may be in your 40s, something like this. So I want to say you might, I'm hearing ironically, so you might be expecting obviously some sort of new beginning, and maybe you are doing some, clearing the mind, clearing your memories, or sorting through those memories to have more optimism towards this new beginning, right? And I'm hearing spirit like ask you to drop your weapons. So, and how I'm seeing it is like drop your defenses. Stop being so defensive. Clear the energy, clear the room. Allow it to play out. Make space, because whatever's coming, it could be better. So we have nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. So there are choppy waters present. They're saying to use your discernment, even if you're not certain about how it's going to play out or what's really going on. Make sure you're accepting what happened. Accept it. Don't treat it like a fable. Don't be too wishy-washy, just accept. Even if the circumstances are mutable and changing and uncertain, you be consistent, This one says it's time to take action. So there is some sort of action necessary. I think we're leaving, or we have recently left Aries season. There's probably some sort of Aries full moon, new moon approaching. I'm sure of it. So there will be positive action taken on your behalf. If you have animals, make sure you're paying attention to your animals' behaviors. Someone connects really deeply with their animals, especially through eye gazing or eye contact. So there might be some sort of clarity you receive from your animals, like their mannerisms, their behaviors, something like this. So new beginnings, taking some sort of new action. And then we have this shapeshifter. And for me, how this feels in this moment, because it can come out different in different piles, but the shapeshifter, it's be mutable, I want to say with your mind, be clear, be discernful, be set, be, I would want to say transparent if needed, be transparent with people, but within your action, be mutable. So just take the next step, be flexible, do the next best thing, adapt, especially if once you've made up your mind about something, it will be easy to, take the right steps, and maybe avoid, procrastination. Maybe forgive yourself for any false sense of belonging, or attaching yourself to something that wasn't serving you. Maybe you need to forgive yourself for having a certain expectation, right? All right, pile number 2. Pause this video if you need more time and think of any question that is still lingering. Think of any question that might be lingering. I'm going to get you a yes or no answer. The answer is yes, and it landed on the nothing is yet set in stone. So the mutability of the situation, you remaining flexible with your action, but consistent within the mind of being maybe more focused, more action-oriented, or optimistic, it's going to go in your favor. So even if there's uncertainty, your answer is yes. It feels like a positive yes. So don't give in to too much fear or feeling stuck right now. Things are changing. I think that there's a lot of forgiveness work and learning to trust yourself and trust the circumstance. So accept this new beginning. If this resonated, make sure you comment down below a blue butterfly to match the new beginnings card, pile number 2. And I know this pile was a little bit heavier, so I just want to remind you, pile number 2, it will get easier, one step at a time, but it had to, something had to rear its ugly head, or, something had to be the way that it was to propel you forward, to prepare you and to propel you forward. Okay? So there will be something good out of this situation, pile number 2. Thank you so much for being here. Like, comment, and subscribe, and engage with this content, especially if you want to see more of it. And again, I'm happy to have you here. Let's move on to pile number 3. The last and final pile. My cat is sitting at my desk and he's sleeping, and it's literally so funny. I don't know why it's so funny, but it is funny. He's just adorable. Let's get it, pile number 3. That was the quickest pull that I've done this whole time. Hello, pile number 3, and welcome to your channeled reading. You chose the what is this? Vision Quest deck. Someone has like friends. It could be like in the South. My homie's down south. That's what I'm hearing. It could be a song that you're listening to. Again, I like to start my readings off with channeling. So if you hear anything that does not resonate, I'm literally just channeling, and it might not be for you. We're not getting to the cards just yet. And that goes for even when I'm channeling and reading the cards. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. If you hear something at any moment that resonates, hit the like button and engage with the content, and that way I can make more of these videos for you guys. So someone may have friends in the South or down south or south of where you are, like Texas, Mississippi, Georgia, Atlanta, somewhere in that region. Someone might like sour candy, sour food, or you might have experienced like recently a sour situation. And I also keep drawing a box with my pen, so a square, and it feels like it feels significant. Someone, this could be you or someone else, is jumping to conclusions. Jumping to conclusions. I'm also hearing sharing information. I'm hearing the word sedentary. Sedentary. I know that that's a word, but I, off the top, don't remember what it means. I hope I'm saying it right. Sedentary. Maybe you've listened to something recently and you're like, that's garbage. That's garbage. Like something you heard recently and you're like swatting it away like it's a fly. That was garbage. Let's channel one more thing and then we're going to move on. Someone's going to be hearing an apology soon. I'm sorry. Someone's going to tell you I'm sorry, or you might be apologizing. Okay, so, and then I'm hearing you be like, oh, don't apologize. Don't apologize. Something like that. Okay, so we have the 10 of air, and this is a card that has vultures surrounding a carcass that they are consuming. So you might be feeling a little bit stuck in the mind with this negative thinking card. You might be feeling a bit outnumbered, or the circumstances might have hit like a very toxic point. So this negative thinking card can, be feeling like you are dealing with vultures, dealing with a circumstance where, it's hitting a breaking point. And Spirit is reminding you that it's not healthy to give into too much fear, because the beauty in the 10 of air is that something breaks to bend, and on the other side of this cycle or situation or mind frame is some sort of new beginning. And I want to stress mind frame because it is the negative thinking card. So this Fool card is reminding you that you will be freed of this negative thinking cycle, and you will be taking some sort of new risk or starting a brand new chapter. So 10s represent the end of a chapter or cycle, and the Fool is like a whole new book, a whole new world, right? You're starting off on a new journey, and you might feel a little bit bruised, but you're ready. So Spirit is like, please release any trust issues. I heard follow us. Follow us. So you might be seeing signs and synchronicities. Someone may have like a small white dog. Also, a white rose could be a synchronicity, or a white diamond. Those could be synchronicities for you. Someone may be like shopping or doing errands while they're listening to this. So Spirit is just saying, please don't give in to fear at this time, or heartbreak at this time. There's maybe a lack of trust in the risks that you're about to take, or the journey that you're embarking on, and it's due to something that's past or passing. It's on its way out. So we have this Father of Air, and the Father of Air always reminds us to be logical. And in the Vision Quest deck, he is like a, mentally stable, communicative, strong, and alert I would say he's not the chief, he's not the head of the tribe, but he is definitely a key player in keeping everyone on their toes, keeping everyone safe, and again, thinking logically, spreading wisdom, using words. Someone might be having like a telepathic conversation, connection with someone else. So this Page of Cups, it can be communication, sometimes a message, but with the water element here, sometimes it cannot be physical communication. It can be mental, telepathic, you picking up on someone's energy, their thoughts, things like this, sensitivity to energy. So it's important that you embrace that concept if you're an overly logical person. Embrace the concept of, picking up on how other people are feeling, empathy, telepathic connections, like picking up on people's thoughts. It's not as crazy as you'd think. There might be something that is maybe putting you into an overly logical energy, I realize. So make sure you're embracing, taking time to embrace how you're feeling, not being too guarded. And Spirit is reminding you not to, again, give in into too much fear. That there is a circumstance that is happening around you that could be a bit overwhelming, but it's not as serious as maybe your mind is allowing you to believe that it is. So don't give in to fear. We have the Chaos card, as I say that. So the Chaos card represents a tower falling. Moreover, it's just like a trigger. I know it's easier said than experienced. So it can create this shakeup or feeling of turbulence, right? It's a trigger. So even if I don't have the same trigger as you, the way you're experiencing, say, the color yellow triggers you. I could wear yellow and feel just fine, but maybe you are down to your last yellow sweater and you have to wear it in public and it triggers you, right? So validate your triggers. Validate how you feel when things are changing and maybe it's outside of your control. Validate that things feel chaotic. Make sure you're, allowing things to shake up and change. There's disappointments around this chaos, and Spirit is reminding you that nothing is as it seems. Nothing is as it seems. It's unpredictable, it's chaotic, but the unpredictable and the chaotic times can bring about the impossible, and sometimes it is a part of the destined path. It can lead you to more potential in a crossroads, right? And within that crossroads, you can, I want to say, tap into new aspects of yourself. So again, I was kind of describing this Father of Air as a bit of like a warrior. He's still a very significant character to the community, to the tribe. So be open to tapping into your potential through chaos. The situation is not as it seems. There is some sort of unexpected good fortune, and there is a lot of trickster energy, especially with all these vultures. There's a lot of deceiving things occurring. So if your intuition is telling you that, it's true. But one thing you can trust is yourself. So there is a victory here. Despite this chaos, we have the 6 of Wands. So you will be trumping over this chaos or this negative thinking or this cycle or this trickster energy. There is disappointment and you should move through those feelings, but there is some sort of victory or balanced circumstance on the other side that leads you to a destined outcome. So destiny is a word that keeps playing out here. Destined, destiny. And there will be something to celebrate. So if it's being adored by other people, if it's coming together within a relationship or embracing your feelings or embarking on a new journey, which I think you already are, it is destined to be this way. Pile number 3. Despite the shakeups and the unpredictable. Let's get some additional cards for you. So there is something that you need to communicate, and it's to a group of people that are around you. And when you do, like, say it with your chest. Don't back down, even if you feel outnumbered, because you will be victorious in communicating. And don't overthink. Don't overthink your position or whether you're good enough or whatever it is. It's kind of a lot of clarifiers for you, pile number 3. So the first card we have is the Architect. And this card is about being a master of your reality, knowing that you have control over the say-so or the future or the current events. So especially with the all-seeing eye in the middle, for me, that in this scenario, it represents the third eye, trusting what you feel, trusting your senses, trusting what you see in your mind's eye versus what you see on a physical plane. Believing that, your mind controls the outcomes. So the architect is also an alchemist. And you can't really see it from this card, but the eyes on this woman are white. They're all like white. And so she's not using her physical eyes to see. She's using her mind to see. So again, that's where the positive logic or imagination can come into play. Using your logic and mind for good, and embracing also intuition, especially if you're a masculine. Embrace your mind's eye, embrace your intuition, embrace your authentic perception of reality. So we have the dream sweet, sleep deep. You might be having some interesting dreams that reveal things to you about your reality. I will say that we also regenerate in our sleep. So if you're not getting enough sleep, you might not feel that sense of being reborn at this time, or that sense of like feeling refreshed. We have the healing card. So you also might be healing physically in your sleep if you have any ailments. You might be healing even your imagination. So you might be opening up your third eye in your dream state. I want to say someone might be traveling soon, and if you're traveling, you might do some sort of significant healing work on that journey. That is tied to like your feelings and allowing things to flow within you. So we have the mirror. I want to say there might be reflections around you, people, circumstances. This could be romantic as well, that reflect significant things back to you. So make sure you're looking into your own mirror, like Michael Jackson, I'm starting with the man in the mirror type beat. Make sure you're doing self-reflection work, mirror work, looking at your body, really trying to capture your essence. And again, use the mind's eye. Don't just use your physical eyes. So someone's unblocking their third eye. Make sure you're, again, see that people are mirrors, circumstances are mirrors. What is this reflecting back to me? I want to say, especially by the next full moon, you may be seeing something a little bit clearer. Mirrors can also be have you ever been into like a fun house where all the mirrors are like creating these weird distortions? So pay attention to any distortions happening around you at this time, and do not take any, again, trickster energy too seriously. Use your mind's eye. So this says a personal issue reaches resolution. So again, by the next full moon, whatever you're dealing with in this moment, it might reach a resolution by the next full moon. I don't think it's a full moon in Cancer. It may be, but I don't think it will be. I would have to look. But whenever you're watching this reading, there are answers coming. Something is coming to an end. And that will also help your mind. I want to say like you're healing your mind and overcoming some sort of negative loop you've been in. So we have the Pilgrim. Again, I did say something about travel. So the Pilgrim is someone who learns a lot of different things about different groups of people, sometimes by migrating and living amongst those people. Almost said monk. So someone might be traveling to like India or, somewhere where there's a different culture, a different religion, a different vibe, and you might be learning and studying the environment around you, acclimating. And I'm hearing indigenous practices. Make sure you're, if you have a Twitter account or like if you have some sort of social account where you express yourself, make sure you're using it at this time, expressing yourself. Maybe pile number 3, you care about endangered species, and that is important. It could be something along the lines of that, like you have an interesting niche that you're into, like a colorful niche, something that kind of stands out. Think of a question on your mind that's still lingering. Any question, first thing that comes to your mind. Pause this video if you need a little bit more time to think of something, and I'm going to get you an answer. The answer is no, and it landed on the healing card. So make sure you're focusing on the internal work, and that will influence the external. So if your concerns about some sort of issue, chaos, or difficulty that's playing out or has recently played out, the quickest way to an answer is to do your healing work. And nobody wants to hear that, but it's the truth. So the moment you write down what you're learning, the moment you get to the core or you face a wound, the quicker that new door swings open. Nobody wants to hear that, but it's the truth. So the answer was no. And I hope that was a great no. I hope that no serves you in some way. Spirit is saying trust the circumstance, trust us, trust your third eye visions, and trust that you are this architect. Comment down below an I if this reading resonated. And again, if you could engage with this content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out our channel and our engagement. And I really do hope that these messages were helpful to you. Pile number 3, check out any other readings that we have. My playlist will be down below, but also you can listen to another pile that's here. Thank you again for watching this video, especially for those of you that listen all the way through. I really do appreciate your time and your patience and your presence with me. And I love you guys, and I will be back very, very soon. So have a good day, night, evening, and I will see you then. Peace out.